that we have all been waiting for quite some time. This is the official book launch online of the book Happy Inside Out by one and only Meetu Sehgal. So let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Ashi. And thank you to all the subscribers who have shown so much interest in joining us and supporting me for this book launch of my latest book called The Happy Inside Out.
Yes. So um, I am your host, Ashi, for today. And I just want to share that, we all have been waiting for the book for quite some time. I have been personally, I've witnessed the journey of the entire book, and this is what we are going to, actually share with all of you throughout the day as, we proceed with the event. So, first of all, I would really like to speak a little about the writer, the author of the book, Meetu Sehgal. She's an EFT trainer, she's a healer, she's a transformation coach. Recently, she has done a workshop called Divine Goddess Ceremony, which I have also been a part of, and which was a beautiful, 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 life changing experience. And she holds so many other workshops regularly. One of the signature workshops that she has is called the Transformation Circle, in which, it's a group healing session where people come together. There's a theme of each and every session that takes place, and people work in a group collectively using different healing modalities and tools, of course, in the guidance of Me Too with us. And she is such a profound person. I have had the pleasure of knowing her for now 10 years. I remember when I met her, I was at a really low point of my life back in 2014, and since I've met her, my life has not been the same. So over to you, Meetu. Tell us a little about your work.
So you've shared what I do. I'm a coach, I'm a therapist, I'm an EFT practitioner, trainer, tarot reader, intuitive healer, and now an author as well. This is my second book, actually. And my work is all about empowering people with finding ease in life, success, confidence, and happiness, helping them overcome their personal emotional baggage and letting go of self-sabotage, and basically experiencing freedom from their past, and the freedom to rediscover who they have been or who they are. So that's my work, whether I'm doing it through EFT and coaching, or whether I'm doing it through tarot, or whether it's through my teaching. The whole of my work is about empowering people to become a better version of themselves and to experience more ease in their life.
Beautiful, beautiful. And as a person who has been on this journey for quite some time now, I can completely vouch for whatever experiences I have had. They have been absolutely transforming and healing.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much for that.
It's been my pleasure. It's been my honor.
So coming to your journey, from where did you start your journey of, healing and your work as a healer, a coach, or a therapist?
So if I look back at my journey, I had absolutely no plans of doing this work. I was doing my master's in business administration. I was doing my MBA, and I was all set to do a job in a corporate office, working as an employee somewhere. I had never thought I would actually practice these things. And then it was in the final year of my studies when, you know, I stumbled across Reiki, and I stumbled across all of these beautiful modalities. And I thought, let me just give it a try because I have personally gone through a very difficult times health wise, and which completely changed how my life turned out to be. So I have always been looking for solutions. I've been always looking for answers to my health issues. And I thought maybe Reiki was one of those answers. And I was already doing tarot for myself, not professionally, but just for friends and family and self. And so I went ahead and learned Reiki. And I think my journey somewhere shifted there. And I decided that, there are so many people who are struggling to find answers, who are struggling in a position that I have been in, and they're unable to find good answers. So I think my journey started with the wish, with the hope that I don't want anybody else to go through the struggle of finding solutions, finding the right answers, and finding some ease in life, finding some way ahead in life. So I think that's where my journey started. So it started with me getting into tarot readings professionally, and then going into healings, and then teaching, and I stumbled upon EFT. So that was another big door that opened up for me because I have always been a very sensitive person. I mean, a completely emotional person. In fact, I would be teased by my family as a kid that, I would cry at the drop of a hat as if I had water tanks in my eyes. So when I stumbled across EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, I was like, yeah, that's what I suffer from. I suffer from emotions. So, this is probably the answer to my emotional problems. And I think I never looked back after that. I went on to healing my own self, my own emotional healing journey. And then I saw how effective it has been for me. So I decided to help others with it too by becoming a practitioner and then trainer and doing more and more work in this field. So I think working with emotions has always been um like a core of my work, the core of my work, because I believe no matter how logical we think we are end of the day very emotional people. And we are most of our decisions are based on emotions, and that is an education that is sorely missing as as an education system, I think, across the world. So I've been working with it, and then the idea of this book came up that let me give something to the world, some education about emotions, and something about how to deal with them, how to handle them on an everyday basis. So that's the idea behind the book, and that's how the journey kind of came to this point.
Okay, so that's actually beautiful, and thank you so much for sharing that. Talking about the idea of the book, I remember very well that how this idea started. It was supposed to be a very small, sort of a booklet, but
Yeah.
it turned out to be a full-fledged book that we have with us today.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to, get into the details of it. Like, how did it develop into from being a really small 10-step, I think, book from a
Yeah.
full-fledged independent entity identity on its own?
So the idea was I had a blog, and I thought, let me expand on the blog on 15 ways to handle your emotions and moods. And I thought, let me expand on it a bit and give it to people so that people have something handy, like a handy guide to help them with their everyday life. So I started expanding on things. I started expanding on it. I started writing it. And um, it somehow happened, the more I wrote, the more needed to be written. I was like, this is not enough. More needs to be said. Again, this is not enough. Even this needs to be explained. This is not enough. Even this needs to be shared. It all just kept pouring, and the book kind of started to assume a different form. And I thought, the kind of page count that I have right now, it's definitely not a handy guide. It's more of a book right now. And I think 15 days into writing it, I realized that it's probably going to be a book. And that's when, it started to take shape in that form. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of wrote itself. Let's just put it that way.
So, I also remember the parts of the book where, from the guide, the 15 steps guide, it started to, turn into a full-fledged book. And then there was the brainstorming sessions where we were deciding upon what it should be called, and then from that, how do we actually go about it? Do we, make a cover out of it? What should the cover look like? The different designs that you tried on, and going through that, and then how to publish it, whether to, pre launches and everything, discussing all those ideas with you. How has your journey been? You have been a healer, an author, a coach for a really long time, a tarot reader. We all know that. We have witnessed your journey. But this time I would like to know, how was your journey as an author?
I somewhere feel there was always an author waiting to come out. And I still feel there are plenty of books waiting to be written that are still inside. And yeah, I mean, writing has always been something that's always given me so much relief. I would say the word is relief, because it would be like, yes, it's finally out of me, and it's being shared now with the world, because there's so much waiting to be shared. So when the writing started to happen, I have been writing articles and blogs and things, and I have been doing that for a long time now. I think ever since I was in school, I've been doing that. But when it came to writing a book, it, at least initially, it felt, the thought of writing a book felt very daunting. Like, oh my god, a book is supposed to be big and huge, and maybe, because I'm not a person of a lot of words, I'm a person of very few words. So how will I write a book which is supposed to be a big book? It is supposed to have many pages and a lot of words. So, I just dived into it just the way I dive into life and everything else. I thought, let me just see and go with the flow, and let's see what happens. So, I just began writing, and I just kept writing and writing and writing. And there was no form and structure to it when I began. I was just writing what was in my heart. It was all free flow. And then one day I was just sitting and looking at what I had written, and I realized that now I can begin to see the structure. Now the structure is beginning to evolve out of it. So I began to restructure it and rewrite quite a few things and fill in the blanks, and writing more details about topics which seemed disconnected with each other, or just making sure that I am actually giving out an information that feels more holistic to people. The whole point of this book was that, please take it, read, and use it for yourself. This is not something you read and just keep it on the side. This is something like you read and you use it in your everyday life. It's a very, very practical book. So, yeah, the journey has been, it has been a roller coaster. There were times when I was writing for days at a stretch, and then there were times that when I had this block, I was like, what do I write next? And I would be just, kind of not looking at my laptop, not looking at the document. I would be just like, I don't know what to write. Let me just leave it. And then I would be talking to someone, I would be in a conversation with a client, and, the spark would come. I would go back and start writing it again. But overall, I think this book was written in a span of 3 months.
That, that's amazing.
And yeah, in a span of 3 months, 3.5 months, I think. And um, It's like I've literally poured my soul into writing this because this is a topic that's very close to my heart. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And you mentioned that there were times when you felt there was a block where
Yeah.
right at stretch for 15 days, but then there was a point where you felt there was a block. So, any tips for people who might be watching you, might be thinking about writing a book? Do you know how what to do at that moment, in that moment particularly when you're feeling that you're feeling this block? And it happens in different ways, like different times, not just writing. It's like when you're doing anything, when you're trying to achieve your goals, when you're trying to work on something, a project, anything. Even in relationships, it applies to every area of your life. This is what I have experienced.
Hmm.
So, um, different people have different ways to deal with it. But
Yeah.
what was your take on dealing with that block?
Whenever I talk of blocks, there's one scene that comes to my mind, which is from the movie or the book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first book of Harry Potter, where they are going through it's the towards the end of the book, and they're going through different obstacles to reach the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, and they fall into a place where there's devil's snare, and the moment they fall onto it, it starts to tighten around the limbs. And the only way to get out of it is to just relax. And it just releases you. And the whole imagery that's there, it's very symbolic and it's very powerful, because the moment you experience blocks, I think all you have to do is just relax more into it. Because I experience whenever I experienced a block when writing this, or when I'm doing anything else, is because I'm trying to get it right. I'm trying to make sure I get this thing perfectly. But then until I don't do it, I wouldn't even know what's perfect. So I think one of the ways I actually went around the blocks was I told myself, okay, it's not gonna be perfect and that's okay. Let me just write it anyway.
That's actually really helpful, and I hope a lot of people will, be able to do some like use this information because it's really profound and helpful. And I can definitely relate to this in my experience. Like very recently, I also have been like doing like this, but the minute you just leave and just surrender everything and just relax, everything just settles on its own. That's really so true and so relatable. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, my
So
pleasure.
so on that note, let's go towards unveiling the book to the world.
Okay,
So
sure. Excited.
yes, so just sharing the copy of the book in front of the screen so that people can have a look at it. This is how it looks like, happy inside out, and you can get it on Amazon worldwide, or for an author signed copy like the one I have personalized, you need to directly go on Instagram, talk to her, get in touch with her, and you'll surely get your author signed copy with a specialized message like this. You can request the same um, for your. So I have the privilege to be around her, be an acquaintance. So I know I can definitely, and a student. So I definitely got mine. So grab yours. It's your chance. So let's just unveil the book.
Okay, I'm excited. Hmm.
Opening. There you go. Yay! Yes. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you. You.
and welcome to the world, your brainchild.
Thank you so much. And it really does feel like a brain gel. It's like, a part of me got written with the book.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, um, I have heard, like, since, you and I both practice tarot,
Yeah,
tarot reading is, getting messages or looking into the possibilities of the future using tarot cards. But there is another form of divination technique in which we don't, instead of using tarot cards, we use a book,
yeah,
which is called bibliomancy, if that is
yes.
the correct pronunciation of it.
Fancy, yeah.
So, all those who are watching right now, just channeling a message through bibliomancy, the book is going to be Happy Inside Out. So let's see what Happy Inside Out message do we have for the people watching here, joining us.
Okay, let's see. Message from the book. Okay, so I've got the page. Okay, and this is from the chapter Mind Body Connection. I'll just show the chapter where it's from.
Okay.
This is the chapter Mind Body Connection. And the message says all the information you receive is sorted and filtered through certain criterias in your mind: shape, size, history, previous experiences, collective thought, etc. It is being stacked in ways that makes sense to you. Some information is also being deleted to make the environment and information more manageable. So, a lot of what our senses are doing is something like data compression, simplifying in order to be able to function. Um, this is done through learned behaviors and experiences. This kind of sorting is happening constantly for every person, experience, or thing. This means we never look at the world objectively, but always subjectively in terms of our past experiences and learnings. Whenever a piece of information comes in, the mind sorts it and according to the meaning assigned to it. So the mind is also assigning a meaning to information that we're picking up, whether it's a threat or not. It signals a response in terms of emotions. If the information is sorted as good, happy emotions are produced and the body gets its appropriate action. If it is sorted as harmful or threatening, then stressful or negative emotions are produced and an appropriate response is initiated: fight, flight, crying, shouting, freeze. Shifting and changing these filters, also known as lenses or perspectives, helps in recalibrating what the mind perceives as a threat. And you'll find many techniques in the book's second part that can help you do that. And, interestingly, this is what our whole existence is all about. How is your mind giving meaning to everything that you're experiencing? And if there is something in your life that is bothering you, notice what meaning is your mind giving to it? What meaning are you giving to that situation? What somebody said, what somebody did, or what happened, or what didn't happen? And maybe just changing the meaning can change everything else about it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I think this has also been the theme of this entire eclipse season so far. This is what I have observed. So, just getting into the part where what is the favorite part of the book for you? Like, which one is like the best part that you find that this was the most profound thing I think I could have written or, experienced while writing?
I think the most profound or the most important part for me of this book is the last chapter of the book, which is
Okay.
spirituality. And this chapter comes from my learnings in the spiritual world. It comes from my own spiritual journey that I have experienced and I'm still experiencing. And this is a part where the whole book and everything that you've read till now comes together. It's about, how we evolve through life, how our emotions carry us through life and through different situations, and how we are responding, and how we change our responses, and how we heal our emotions, how we heal our life, and what happens when we keep healing them. So, the last chapter of the book is essentially the evolutionary journey of a human being through lives, and your journey from, the point where you started as a soul to the point where you can go as a soul. So that's the chapter that's most profound and most meaningful for me. And I really felt that it had to be the culminating chapter for this book, at least, because it sums up the whole experience of human life.
Beautiful. I'm looking forward to now getting, I mean, I so far, whatever I am reading in the book, I feel like it's a beautiful journey which is taking me deeper and deeper and deeper towards my own self.
Yeah.
The experience that I have so far with the book, and I am, after hearing what the last chapter is all about, I am actually looking forward to it. But I would really like to enjoy the journey as well, because today, while I was just taking out a message from the Osho Zen Tarot, I got the message ripeness, the
Oh,
Nine of Earth, and
but
the very
yeah.
the beautiful part about that card is that you know your journey, you know your destination, but we
Yeah.
are in such a hurry to reach that destination that we don't actually get to enjoy the journey. So the card basically says, "अरे जहाँ हो उसको तो enjoy कर लो, just enjoy the journey, like enjoy where you are."
Hmm.
So that is something I think I will be applying here and taking my own sweet time and just really taking in the juices of the book that the book really has. Like it actually looks like a very um it has a very lemony zest, it's very refreshing.
Yeah.
um it might be a bit too much on the taste buds for some people, but it's good for you because it's all vitamin C and good for your health, and it has a lot of healing benefits. So all those who are really conscious about their emotional health, it's a good recommendation. So you can
Yeah.
buy the book on Amazon. You can directly get in touch with Meetu for getting your personalized author signed copies. So hurry, hurry, hurry. If you're watching this, you don't have to wait. You all have to do is just pick up your mobile phone, your device, and just get in touch, get in action. It's just a few clicks away. Beautiful book, and I think we will be pretty soon having an offline book launch as well. We'll be having a lot of book reading events happening soon. So if you're watching this, get on Instagram, follow me too, and DM her for having your slots booked for the event. We'll send you the information regarding the events that are going to happen so you can get to meet her personally. And if the event is happening in your city, then you can definitely get in touch with her for more information. You can subscribe to her mailing list, you can get in touch with her, you can follow her so that you get all the updates available. So that's it for today. I'm leaving the stage for me to share a message for all the people who have joined in, and we'll be closing after that.
Thank you so much, Ashi, for doing this. Thank you so much for being a part and actually hosting this book launch. And I really want to thank all the people who've joined us today and who are going to watch it over the next few days as well. Um, the intent behind writing this book was to bring joy, was to bring a piece of light into your life. And, like we learned, 1 degree shift creates way for a major shift to happen. So I'm hoping that this book becomes a catalyst of creating that 1 degree shift in your life that shifts your whole perspective towards life. And um, This book has practical aspects to it, which is about, how do you deal with emotions, whether it's through your everyday life, through physical means, food, sleep, movement, or, connecting with nature, or and there are spiritual aspects to it too, which are more mental and spiritual. How do you deal with energies when you're dealing emotions? And how do you heal your energies? How do you heal your energy system? How do you channel your emotions? What do you do when you have emotions? What do you do when you are full of emotions? And how do you handle them more easily and with a lot of ease, so that it becomes easier for you to experience the joy that's already inside of you, that's just clouded under the emotional realm. So I hope this book brings you a lot of joy, a lot of tools, and I hope this book, I have designed this book to be a companion for you. So don't just keep it on the side, use it. Use whatever's here, and there's a lot of wisdom here. And there's a lot of techniques also here. So if you're somebody who likes doing techniques, then you will not be disappointed. This will really help you. So I hope this you enjoy reading this book. Please go ahead, buy this book. Give us your reviews, write down your reviews, and do share your reviews with me. And also do share what else would you like to know from me about this book, or what else would you like to read in books from me. So open to feedback, open to suggestions. Do share, and yep, have a very good time. Happy reading. Okay, so I think we'll close here. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. And we do have some questions. We just didn't have enough time to take those questions, but we'll definitely take them up in our offline events and maybe more online reading events. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.